is at the line for South Alabama. Handed off to the right side and a pop in the backfield by South Alabama. And that is Akil Washington from the backside, bringing him down. It's just a gain of 1.
Really excited to get back to conference play. Disappointing loss in Baton Rouge. Didn't feel like we really gave ourselves an opportunity the way we came out and coached and played. Just had a really poor first quarter, put us behind the 8 ball. We've got to do a better job as a staff getting guys into the ball game, adjusted into the ball game, so they can go compete. I was proud of the way they fought. I was proud of the way our team competed. Coaches included on the sideline in the second half in terms of just hanging our hat on effort, being physical, finishing ball games. It's disappointing when the score's that lopsided, but I saw guys continue to play. So those are things that we've preached about coming into this week, back into conference play, a very competitive conference, a lot of one-score, 10-point ball games where your preparation is at a premium. Everybody in this league is capable of beating everybody. Everybody in this league is capable of losing to everybody. So just the preparation going forward is what we're putting the premium on. He's just in protocol right now. I don't have anything right now.
And then Gio coming out, was that just a strategy?
Yeah, after the third down sack and he got up a little bit gimpy with the score, down by 32 points, I felt like it was a time to protect our starting quarterback.
I guess on the plus side, Anthony Eager stepped in and kind of
did a great job. Really did. And he really showed it all week in practice. Back to the opening statement, like, put a premium on practice. We say it, and it's cliche, but practice reps become game day reality. And when he practiced that way, it showed up in Baton Rouge against an SEC team. So, we need to all listen, head coach included, and take pride in our preparation. And we'll see it on Saturday night.
Arkansas State, what stands out?
Just the constant, steady improvement. Coach Jones has done such a great job, and I know it was a hard task, with Blake leaving and then the portal thing happening all about the same time. And they've just got steadily better year after year after year. Upgraded his quarterback position last year, got into a bowl game. There's no coincidence how that works out. Jalen's done a great job with that offense. They've got 2 really good backs. They've got great wide receivers. Their offensive line has continued to improve. Defensively, they're more stout up front. They continue to penetrate. Good blitz package. Corners are good players on the edge. Safeties are tremendous tacklers, athletes. I think they're a really good football team.
When you play an SEC team like that, have a physical game, and they have to turn right back around and go on the road again, whereas they have a bye week, how do you kind of plan for that, or what do you do?
Yeah, we'll have to look at it throughout the week, but yesterday we looked at the injury report just to see where we were. That would kind of dictate kind of what we do, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then we'll look at, things after practice tomorrow and take inventory, talk to the coaches about what we need to do physically. We're not tremendously beat up, but you don't want to be stubborn going into week 6. There may be some things that you got to pull back on, just make sure guys are fresh.
What stands out most about Arkansas State defensively to you?
Just sound. That's the thing that sticks out the most. Well, that's not the thing that sticks out the most. The thing that sticks out the most is how hard they play. But how few mistakes they make is probably 1B. 1A they play the game the right way. They play it hard. I like the style they play with. And then B, they just don't make a lot of mistakes. There's not a lot of, well, why isn't that guy in the post, or why isn't this guy covered number 2? They're where they're supposed to be, doing what they're supposed to do.
You're on staff with Butch at Alabama. What was kind of your working relationship with as fellow analysts? That sort of thing?
Butch taught Najee everything he knows. I taught Devontae everything he knows. Both those guys owe us a lot of gratitude. No, we helped wherever Sark needed us, and if he didn't, we stayed out of the way.
Well, I think versus what is a really good opponent, and certainly they have a really good coaching staff. But when we kind of got out of our own way, we were able to move the ball, and at times during the game, we were able to move the ball pretty fast. So, those are things that we can build on. And some of those we've been doing most of the year, but I think the message to the players is when you make self-inflicted mistakes, nothing that, the opponent has done, but self-inflicted mistakes, those are really hard to overcome, especially when you're playing somebody like LSU. And I understand they're an SEC school, but we're going to play some other teams probably starting this week that, they're opportunistic on defense, and there's some teams in this league that have pretty good defenses that we're not going to be able to get away with mistakes like what we made out there versus those guys either.
Arkansas State will stand up under defense.
Well, I think met Rob, the defense coordinator, at Alex Jones' wedding. He's an outstanding coach and a really good guy. And you can see it's the Pat Narduzzi, Martin Antonio, kind of Michigan State. It goes back really to Cincinnati defense. One gap, penetrators, a lot of line games up front. They'll play tight coverage in the secondary. And it's similar challenge. You got to be able to handle them up front. And they'll create a lot of negative plays very quickly. And so we're going to have our hands full with that.
You worked with Butch at Alabama. What do you remember about that time, and kind of, what did you learn about him as a coach?
Well, he's Butch has always been really good to me. His son, Alex, both of them are, I would consider them friends. And just really detailed coach. And really learned a lot about what to look for being around him. And he really helped me grow and develop as a coach. And, we always are growing and developing. But probably when I first got around him, I was kind of always looking for scheme, we can do this, we can do that. And Butch really helped me, look at the game a little bit differently and about how you play, how your players are executing. And, I really felt like that helped me a lot in my career.
Anthony Eater played a lot, obviously, because when it was all out, but what'd you see out of him maybe in his first real chance to play?
Well, and it was really good to see. And probably a good example for our guys on offense. He's really come a long way. And I would say probably in the last 2 weeks, maybe 3, he's had some really good practices. We had kind of unique circumstances in versus App State and Northwestern State that when we were wanting to roll him in, it was kind of like you're kind of done throwing the ball to some extent. So it was good to see him, unfortunate, what happened to Jamal, but it was good to see him get in there and really just do what he does in practice over the last couple of weeks. And certainly a guy that, moving forward, we'll be looking to get in there some. So, good.
What makes him so good? Is it speed off the snap? Is it separation?
Yeah, he's an explosive player. He's, I think, he's a good track runner in high school, ran the 100 meters. And he's a very explosive player. He's intelligent. He knows what to do and tracks the ball really well. So, and he came in and, working with Coach Petrino has really, still in the process of changing his body, but added, quite a bit of weight and just has come a long way, and he's still got some things he needs to work on, but he's getting every day, just getting a little closer to being, a really, really good player.
Yeah, it's disappointing, just bad fits. We needed to leverage that first one on the perimeter, and then the second one we got down in the trash at the linebacker level. It's just things that we got to get cleaned up. The good parts were they were able to respond and fight. Our kryptonite had been that 2-minute drives before the half. Ohio had gotten us on one. We'd had that twice actually this season, and then getting that pick right there, I think that really helped us. It sparked us a little bit in terms of getting them in the locker room and then fighting in the second half. I think that was really good because that was we talked about last week and even today hitting them on the way we started last week's practice. Monday was a little bit slower for us. Tuesday was a little bit slower for us in practice. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday were really good. Well, if you look at it, that's exactly how we played. We started slow, and then we picked it up as the game went on, and it's a direct reflection of practice. And so just continuing to hammer that home with the guys of understanding, hey, you have to start fast at practice, even if it's a Monday and, we're getting off and we're still a little bruised or whatever the case may be. When you start fast, that gives you a chance for the rest of the week because you can build on it. And it kind of took us a little bit to get going last week, and it showed in the game. So, again, I'm glad that they fought. Obviously, you want to start much better than that, though. You can't give up 2 huge explosive plays early in the game, especially in a game like that. We kind of reeled a little bit after that for those first 7 or so minutes, and then they figured it out and they hunkered down and they played.
Arkansas State probably got, I guess their quarterback probably can move as well as anybody you guys have played so far. Just how big a challenge is that, and what else stands out about them?
Yeah, Jalen does a great job over there for him. I think he's gotten better. He's improved from last year. He's a good thrower, but like you said, he's dangerous with his legs, and that's a scary thing. The nice part about that is we practiced against it all spring and all fall camp with Gio and Bishop and even Jared. And so, I feel like we're probably a little bit more prepared for it in that regard. They've got a lot of skill players, just being there. For that week that I was there, you got to see those guys move around a little bit, even through some of those workouts. And, they've got some really good skill players. I think the backs are really, really good. Really good. And Rayner does a good job distributing. Obviously, Corey Rucker, everybody knows Corey Rucker. And he distributes the ball well. Courtney Jackson in the slot does a great job. He's got some really good wiggle. And even, the guys the tight ends move well. Manny does a really good job out there in space as well. So it's just making sure that we have good eyes. That's every week, though, being disciplined, because that's what's going to, when they introduce the +1 run game, it's how do we, the calls are the calls, but the eyes are what make it come to life, and staying, going back to that first play against LSU, the leverage. If we have the right leverage, yeah, that play may go for 7 or 8, but it didn't go for 87 or 78 or whatever it was. So it's just, that's the biggest thing, is just holding that leverage and doing a great job with our eyes.
Darius is a guy that, I guess, played a lot of safety in the spring, and now he's a corner. I mean, just talk about his versatility and what he's meant to you guys.
Yeah, he's like a water bug, I'm from Mississippi, so I guess I know what that looks like. Yeah, he's like a little jittery thing, man. It's like he's drinking 14 shots of espresso. He's all over the place, and his feet are really, really good, so he can get in and out of breaks. And that's, that was the nice part. I think him and Scruggs are very similar in that regard. They've got some versatility in. They can play in the slot. They can play corner. They can do some different things for us. And Webb is really starting to click for him. He does a great job for us on the outside. It was nice for him to get that pick there. And, the pick that Voisin had was really Fortenberry. He's the one that was, he got the reward, I guess, so to speak. But Fortenberry made the play. And so I think our corners are doing a great job. It's just Fortenberry early in the season gave up more than he wanted him to, but that's the nice part about when you're a young guy. You can look down and go, okay, yeah, I remember that scar. That was the Northwestern State game. Okay, that was the Ohio touchdown. And then now you look down and you go, okay, I remember those scars, but that's what made me who I am today. And I think that's a big part of where our defense is. They're starting to feel some of that and grow, and excited to get them back out there this Saturday night and see what they can do in Jonesboro for sure.
Felt good. It was a blessing. Definitely caught an interception in Death Valley, growing up as a kid watching LSU play on TV. So it definitely was a feel-good moment, So, but first I'd always give my glory to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Talk about how you guys responded, because obviously off the bat not what we were looking for, but you played hard and you did well.
So how we responded to the second half?
Yeah.
First half, I guess kind of like a shock. We didn't play South Alabama football. We were just out there. Second half we got to filling up the game. Me, my interception, got back in the locker room. And coaches talked to us and just basically we're not playing South Alabama football, and we kind of regrouped together and came out together as a team the second half and started playing South Alabama football. And you seen the results. Even though we still lost, we capitalized the second half.
Third game in a row on the road. You had one good one bad one. What can you take from that to go on the road again?
just basically when we're down, coming more together, you know, and just sticking to where our coaches teach us. Because going throughout the week in our training, if we stick to what they teach us and the scheme that they telling us that the team is going to do, if we just fall back on our training, we'll definitely come back on top, always.
Arkansas State got a good quarterback and some veteran receivers. Just kind of what's the challenge?
The challenge is basically 1-0. Just being 1-0 this week, you know. Again, just trusting my coaches, trusting my teammates, know where my help at, trusting each other, and we respect those guys, those veteran guys that's across on the team, Arkansas State. We respect those guys, but if we play South Alabama football, we will come out on top.
Yeah, I think we kind of got a rhythm going, you know. Definitely got a lot of things to learn from in that game. Starting off, we just had some bust, and I think there are too many. It's kind of some mental errors, probably some complacency from that week of practice. But I think it was probably just a little bit of a confidence thing because we know we got a good unit, we got a good squad, and just all we need is a little momentum and just kind of keep the ball rolling, you know. So we got a lot of confidence in all the guys in our offense. We've seen what we can do in the games previous. So yeah, I think we're just kind of learning from our mistakes, and I guess we're focusing on next week.
What do you know about Arkansas State so far?
Same guys, a lot of same guys from last week, interior and linebackers. 4-2 defense. You know, they shift a little bit, kind of normal stuff. I think we're just we're kind of looking at personnel right now. Yeah, a lot of same guys from last year. Good team, you know, good opponent. So I think we'll be able to do some good things against them. Probably similar to last year, you know. So.
Yes, you played the SEC team, so it was a physical game, especially up front for you guys. You got to turn around and go on the road again, and their team kind of bye. Just how important is it to take care of your body this week to kind of bounce back?
I mean, it's always important. I mean, every week we're banged up, you know. So we're all in the training room every single day, you know. But it's every week's like a car crash, you know. Your body's feeling it. So I think just kind of focusing on kind of getting the nicks and bruises fixed up. But just I think the mentality is the biggest thing for us. That's probably what took just I guess staying strong there, you know. So it's a 1-0 mentality. We're just kind of keep hammering, you know. Gotta have a good week of practice, and coaches take care of us, you know. It's take care of each other. We're good.